I'm Nate.
I'm Eddie.
Welcome to The Sponge.
Your weekly social media cleanse.
Where we talk about music and nerd stuff.
And so much more.
Yeah, so it's time.
Time for what this time?
This time, Eddie, we are tackling an Instagram post. Do you have it on you real quick while I explain it so we can give a little bit of shout out?
Question.
A little bit of disclaimer to this Instagram post. Reposting is a thing. So he's probably not the original guy, but he's the one we saw, so we'll give the shout out to him.
Oh, it just happened to be...
Is that him? Processed? It's processed. I don't want it. Ma'am, that is an 11-pound whole slab of deli ham. It has no bones, fat, or connective tissue. It is an amalgamation of the meat of several pigs, emulsified, liquefied, strained, and ultimately inexorably joined in an unholy meat obelisk. God had no hand in the creation of this abhorrence. The fact that this ham monolith exists proves that God is either impotent to alter his universe or ignorant to the horrors taking place in his kingdom. This prism of pork is more than deli meat. It is a physical declaration of mankind's contempt for the natural order. It is hubris manifest. We also have a lower sodium variety.
That's not what the fuck I thought.
Listen. For context, I do a lot of things on my phone. Just like any normal human. But that's the first thing that was on Instagram when I opened it. I saw the little rolling wheel and I was like, oh my god, I had it saved. It's gonna be there, and then that showed up instead.
Oh my god. Just to start the episode, but we're tackling, alright, we got 4 duos, alright? Put them in your brain. Shazam, Billy Batson, Superman, Clark Kent, Invincible.
Well, slow down. That was duo 1.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Shazam and Superman. That's the first duo. The second duo, Invincible and Omni-Man, I do not remember his name.
I don't remember their names
either.
From the show Invincible.
From the show
Amazon
Prime.
But
Great
also
show.
It was a comic book before then.
Yes. So were all of these people, actually. Except our third duo, Goku and Vegeta. Technically, that was a manga before, and not a comic book. If you want to,
I was literally about to say, look, be careful when you insult your Japanese,
okay.
or your anime or your weebs.
And then our last duo, Thor and the Incredible Hulk. So they're duking it out. Which duo would win in a fight is our overall. We got to figure it out.
The main thing that I must remind is these are opinions. We did not have the energy to go in detail enough to find enough information to really do a certified death battle, because my goodness, they do the math.
And also, those already exist. So if you want to watch those, go watch those. But if you want to see The Sponge, you're in the right place. Okay, so...
You just happen to be at this weird corner of the internet. So
I'm sorry, and a quick disclaimer. One thing we are assuming when they fight is that they are all motivated to fight. Like, somebody took Superman and, stepped on Lois Lane's toes, which made her drop her groceries from Whole Foods.
Anything.
That's what happened, and then Superman is
I was
bad
about to
enough
say
to...
Emma Stone. Not Emma Stone. Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman just got thrown off a cliff.
Right, so Thor is angry.
So
the Hulk is always angry. I don't know what Goku and Vegeta's, mental generals would be that we have to kick in order to get them upset.
Chi-Chi and the kids.
Oh yeah.
Gohan is held at gunpoint by Shadow the Hedgehog with the gun.
Jesus Christ. And then Superman and Shazam are just too noble, so they would just think that one of the other 6 characters is doing something bad and would think that they are the law because they're very grounded in American Earth realm politics
and that sort of
and motivations.
And that sort of
so if somebody is, if some commie is threatening the American way of life, Superman's gonna be there. He doesn't need much to start a fight.
Right.
But
that's a good point to make.
But there's something to say about how strong Daredevil is versus how strong Scarlet Witch is.
Are you sure about that?
Because Daredevil and Scarlet Witch, neither of them have powers.
Are you sure about that?
And Daredevil gets beat up that's the point of his show, is that he gets beat up every single episode.
To the point where he would have died if he were anybody else.
Right, but then, what's her name? Ahsoka
ingenuity.
saves him. Spoilers for anyone who doesn't know that Rosario Dawson is in both Ahsoka and in Daredevil. But the whole point is that there's something to say about a character who's strong but gets beat, and a character who's strong and doesn't get beat. Like, Goku and Vegeta probably get beat a lot, but not to the level of Invincible.
But again, only because he's a kid. Only because he's like level 1.
But when Goku was a kid, he was pretty...
But we're not talking about that.
Oh my god, Count Goku.
Because season 1, because that first 1980 something or other of what Dragon Ball eventually became. Oh my god, that show is crazy. Like, it's also really childish and cartoony too. Like, we don't start getting into the meat and potatoes of, oh my god, Goku could die until Goku starts dying. Yeah. Until it becomes an older kid show. Until, it goes from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball
Z.
Kai.
Oh, Dragon Ball...
No, Dragon Ball Z. And then Z Kai was just the redoing.
Yeah, it was the children.
The redubbing.
The diet.
The redubbing and
yes,
re-recording.
they redubbed and re-recorded it. Yeah,
right. So only in Dragon Ball Z are we really seeing the show really pick up. So I'm not gonna use that first season as an example. That Dragon Ball as an example.
Yeah.
It was just an establishment of, hey, here are the balls. Here what they do. This is for kids. Please get into this. And then they said, all right, we're going to age with the audience. That's kind of where I felt like it went.
And then just to keep the ball rolling on this, we got two big questions before we can start asking who's going to win. Do they know their weaknesses?
Do they know each other's weaknesses?
Invincible and Omni-Man, are we in a state where Invincible and Omni-Man know that all they have to do is smoke kryptonite cocaine with Superman and he's done?
Does Omni-Man know that he can just go in one direction for long enough, find Krypton, and just pull the planet?
Right. And then that brings up the second biggest question: where are we fighting? Because if we're fighting in a place where Omni-Man's planet and Earth exists at the same time, Superman's Earth exists at the same time, Krypton's Earth exists, then Omni-Man literally can just fly.
At the same time, Dragon Ball's Earth is like
at the same time Asgard exists. Because in that regard, then Omni-Man could just fly far enough, find Krypton, and bring back a piece of it.
I think logically here, it would be easiest to say we're in Marvel Cinematic Universe, and only because I'm thinking about the Asgardian realm. I'm thinking about the fact that Thor is a god and he's got access to the other realms, and how easy it would be for us to just set it in somewhere that's kind of like a vacuum on a random abandoned planet in one of the 9 realms that has enough breathable atmosphere, and they all have access to what would be Earth. So we can just say, okay, here, Vegeta's family is there. So is Lois Lane. Let's just have like a house that's just this weird dimensional pocket, but it's all still Earth, and everybody who's got ties to Earth, their family is there, and they're being threatened for their life. And inside this house for the motivation.
Yeah, I would actually make an argument for a complete vacuum, only because when I look at all of these characters, none of them have special abilities tied to the planet. And the only one I can think about is Goku, because he trained in different gravity, so that would get convoluted. But Shazam and Superman can fight the same on wherever. They don't need the planet to fight. Thor isn't stronger on Earth than he is in Asgard. Like, that's not how that works. And Omni-Man and Invincible aren't stronger one place than the other.
I think
so.
the
I think it's
funniest
okay if they're in a vacuum.
I think the funniest thing that we haven't even mentioned yet is how little we've said Hulk's name. You know?
Okay, but that's actually a great.
Why haven't I thought about Mjolnir?
Oh,
Why haven't I thought about that stupid hammer this whole time?
well, that actually leads into the next segment
Do we have
of the
We
show.
need to add in weapons.
No, that actually leads into what I was going to say right now. Is the individual powers and the general overview of each character.
Okay.
If we start with the Thor, then he's got a hammer,
And
which
technically he's got Stormbreaker,
hold on.
but-
Before you like write Thor off immediately, which I did, I have to remember. Go back in your head. Name each individual character. Tell me right now which one of them has a weapon, except for Thor.
A physical
Shazam does not carry a weapon canonically. Superman does not carry a weapon.
There's this
Invincible-
one comic
What?
where Superman has the power to split into a bunch of tiny Supermans,
What
like
the
a
fuck?
swarm of wasps.
What the fuck? What?
This is a real thing.
That's real?
This is a real thing.
I was just trying to make the point for Thor.
You're right. You're
Shazam,
right.
Superman, Invincible.
I just need to also from a previous from one of the previous points. If we're going off of versions of character, that's one of the things we have to like omit.
Bro, what
We
the
have
fuck?
to. Superman. There's a comic book where he splits it. Oh my
What?
god.
Well,
I know this
Yeah,
because
I've
I know this
lost my-
because I'm so sorry. Thor is the only character that carries a physical weapon just by the characters that we've
Which
listed.
is, I was just gonna say that's important because it's just an extension of himself that he could use to his advantage. Which he would.
There's no reason why he wouldn't.
There's no reason why in any scenario that Mjolnir might not just win the fight for him if he's just in a tough spot. And like Eddie was about to say, Stormbreaker as well, because he did give Stormbreaker to Captain America in the MCU, and in the comics he wields them both sometimes. So and they're both like he can summon them. He
can summon them.
There's no reason why you can't just have them in the
Stormbreaker
fight.
isn't worthy though. So
is it? Oh, okay.
yeah, no. Like Stormbreaker wasn't enchanted
Neither is
by
the elevator. Elevator's not worthy.
Oh my god! Listen, but it's just the establishment that like nobody else can move Mjolnir either.
Yeah.
So like it's a weapon, but really it's an exclusive weapon, which kind of makes it a lot like the Chi blasts that
True.
Vegeta and
That's
Goku
true.
have. I thought you were going to say that.
But that's not a
But
weapon. That's
it's
just an
not.
energy that comes from inside them that they can
Definitely
project
is. You're
outwards
exactly
into a
right.
physical
But
form.
as far as establishing like powers and what things are going to definitely sway the fight one way or another, like they have a physical blast. That makes Thor, Vegeta, and Goku the only people who have projectile weapons. All characters can.
Hold on.
All characters.
Projectile.
And Shazam.
I was gonna say.
Superman does not have a projectile weapon. We're not counting the Wasp Storm.
Are we counting the wind? Because he can blow the shit out of you. Pause.
Oh God.
Pause.
What? Dude,
But-
I don't want to count stupid powers like that.
the wind shit that he can
I
do.
don't want to count. Like in my head, it's just making me annoyed. But you have to remember, because Shazam is a kid,
Right.
and if no one else, Thor or Goku will figure out that he's just a little fucking kid.
Right. That also
Goku
means he's
has
not
plenty
he's,
of times.
He's not smart.
Exactly. Goku has plenty of times in canon where he's paused to ask the person that he's fighting about their personal life.
Yeah,
In
Goku's
no
a bit
way
dumb
do
too,
I
but-
think he is a bit dumb, but he's not like dumb for no reason. I don't think for any moment that Goku wouldn't be fighting Shazam and have a moment where he goes, "Wow, you're pretty strong. Who are you?" And obviously he's a cocky kid, and he's gonna go, "You know what's funny? I'm not even really excellent." I can see that
Yeah.
happening. Really? So you mean you just say Shazam and you become a kid? I'll show you. Shazam! And
Yeah,
Thor
I
just
can
like,
actually see
it's a kid. I'll fuck him now.
Dick. If I need your body, I'll fucking.
Bink! You know, and
Yeah.
I don't actually
Also-
think that Thor would decide
Also,
to do that.
very,
but-
very late disclaimer. This is all assuming that we're not doing Shazam and Superman versus Invincible and Omni-Man, and then the winner goes to fight. No.
We're not doing tournament
It's
fight, it's
all
free for
eight on a planet
It's,
in a vacuum.
it's Smash
just
Brothers.
going at
It's
each
Smash
other.
Brothers Brawl.
It's Smash Brothers Brawl.
Fuck.
But yeah, that's my final assessment. I'm picking Goku and Vegeta.
I've got Thor and Hulk, and there's probably better analyses of these things, but hey, you're listening to our opinions. I really don't care enough to do the math and the thought soup that it takes to be able
The
to
thoughts. I mean, absolutely.
make something.
Because some people
this impressive.
really get into it. But yeah, that's our final assessment. If you don't like it, please let us know.
Leave detailed comments insulting my mother.
Oh my God! Don't insult my mother, or I'll insult yours back.
I've been Eddie.
I've been Nate.
Thanks for watching The Sponge.
That was the Sponge. I'm gonna.
Fuck out of here.